Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. I am in lovely Cary, North Carolina, visiting my brother. And I'm really excited to review this car. This car he just acquired a couple of months ago. It's the 2024 Mercedes AMG GLE 63S. It's a mouthful, but this car is beautiful. So I just got a chance in this rather cloudy, rainy weather to finally take this car out for a drive, and I wanted to bring my review of it to the channel. This car is a beauty. Now unfortunately, because of the lighting, you cannot tell. It actually has a gorgeous emerald green spec, and this car just looks amazing in the sunlight. I don't think this is a common spec, but my brother chose really well. I mean, just look how majestic and beautiful this car is. It's one of the best from AMG, in my opinion. You got the square exhaust tips. Of course, the AMG badge. I think the wheels are beautiful. You got 22-inch rims in the rear and the front. 325 in the rear, and then in the front you've got 22-inch rims again and 285 width tires. And the front is, well, it's the front of a Mercedes AMG. What more can you expect? I think the styling is just spectacular. Getting into the interior, I think my brother chose really well. This has just a beautiful sort of chocolate leather and wooden paneling. The leather feels very high quality. A nice beefy steering wheel. And you know, I'm not a professional car reviewer. I'm sure there are other channels where they go into a lot more detail than I will here. But there are some other really neat features this car has, which I'm not going to really demonstrate in this video, but the car actually rises and falls as you enter and exit the car, so really more of a comfort thing. Now check out the screen, this huge screen which you see in these newer generation Mercedes, and very, very nice, very high quality. Here's the resolution of the backup camera. Now I don't know if you can tell in the video, but it's really high resolution. Definitely higher resolution than my Beamer. Burmeister sound system, which I will be talking about in a little bit, but really top notch. You know, everything just feels high quality here, from these controls here to the vents. You know, nothing here feels cheap and plasticky that I can see. And I really love this steering wheel, just perfectly, you know, the perfect amount of girth that you want in a performance car. We all know that what makes this car so immensely special is what's under the hood. And here we are. AMG's twin turbo V8. And in AMG tradition, they always have the signature of the person who built this particular engine. And we have that right here. Not sure I read that correctly. What does that say? Velibov Gligosevic? Well, Velibov, thank you for your hard work in building this twin turbo V8 engine that makes 603 horsepower. All right, so driving the Mercedes AMG GLE 63S in comfort mode. So my first observation about this car is that it's very luxurious. Even though it's an AMG, it's really luxurious. You know, it just rides really well. It's very comfortable. So we went over a couple of bumps and it's just as smooth as you can be. So you would not even know if you were just driving this car in comfort mode that you were driving a high performance car. It's you know, it just glides so well over the road. Very, very smooth. The grip is very good, and we'll see that a little bit more in Sport Plus mode. Right now we're still in comfort mode. It steers very sharply, and the brakes are as expected. You know, they have tremendous stopping power. I could totally see myself daily driving a car like this and doing it with a great deal of relaxation and joy. It has massage seats, which I have tried, and they're quite excellent. The ride is very quiet, you know, if you want it to be. I mean, again, you have that massive and famous AMG V8 engine just under the hood there, but if you want, it can, you know, you can really ride this car quietly and you know, in total peace and tranquility. But let's get real. This is not why you drive an AMG car. You drive it for this reason: so you can pop it into Sport Plus mode. Now, I don't know the details about exhaust valves in this car, but I could definitely hear something different when I made that change. The engine seems to wake up, and maybe the valve opens partly, I can't say, but you can definitely hear it, where just a moment ago it was pretty quiet. Oh yeah, the monster has awakened. Now again, it's a rainy day. Although I have a lot of confidence in this car, it's absolutely going to grip the road masterfully. But still, we got to be careful because it's not my car. Oh, I can hear some pops and crackles, baby. Woo! Got to be a little careful, though. This is not my town. It's not my car. I don't know where all the cops are located, so I'm not going to go too crazy with the speed. Now, a couple of minutes ago, when I was not on camera, I did drive with the paddle shifters, and I'm not doing that now because one hand does have to hold a camera. But when I did that, I was pretty impressed. The shifts were very quick, and with the downshifts, you definitely got some crackles if you were right in the correct RPM range. Oh yeah. This is, you know, if I were going to compare this to my M850i, which is another very gruntful engine, this is just a tad bit more angry sounding. And I would say with my new exhaust, that's evened out a bit, but this is the stock exhaust in the AMG, and you can definitely hear a little bit more anger with this than with the BMW V8. Now, this car also makes more torque, and while you can feel that, it's not that different than my car, simply because this car is also much heavier than the M850i. Of course, the other obvious problem with filming a car with this much capability is, especially during rush hour, is when you're behind slow-moving traffic such as minivans and Honda CR-Vs. You have pretty much no chance of going anywhere near testing some of the capabilities of a vehicle like this. But it's still fun, believe it or not. I still enjoy the sound of this car. I forgot to mention that the Burmeister stereo system in this thing is amazing. So I was just listening to some music, some techno and electronic music, and it was very clear and crisp, even at the highest volumes. So that certainly deserves a thumbs up from me. Turning radius test. Excellent. Now I have to check if this car has rear axle steer. I'm not sure if it does, but very good turning radius. And a little pop. Always nice to hear those. That means AMG still has a sense of humor. AMG. Please do not ever get rid of your V8 engine. I beg you. And if anybody out there agrees with me, please comment or like this video. I do sense, I will say there's one thing, there's just a slightest, ever so slight amount of turbo lag. Now I'm not sure if I'm going to call that turbo lag or throttle delay. It's hard to say for sure. I would have to spend more time in this car. But there is something there. You don't get that instant kind of leap forward when you hit the throttle like you do. I do get that. I do get more of an instant response in my BMW, and even more so in the R8. So again, I'm not sure if that's throttle delay. I mean, we are in Sport Plus mode, but that might actually just be a turbo lag. One last thought about this car, which is when you start it up, you can't really start it up in a very aggressive way. Like it sort of starts up, and I'm talking even the cold start. So I asked my brother to see if he could start it in sport mode, and for whatever reason, he wasn't able to do it. Maybe it doesn't exist, or maybe he hasn't figured that out. But that's one thing I would complain about, because my BMW, you can start it in sport mode, and it starts out, you know, it starts with a nice, good spunk. You know, and with this one, it just kind of eases into starting up. So that's not my favorite thing in the world. Final thoughts about this car. I think it's excellent. I highly recommend it. In fact, I wish this was my car. It's luxurious. It's definitely something you can daily drive, something you can, you know, drive around in comfort, you know, take your family around, take to work, and then you can tear up the back roads. It has a lot of grunt. You know, it's still got the spirit of AMG, and I'm really glad about that, because who knows how much longer cars like this are going to be around. Thanks again to everybody for watching, and I'll see you back next time.